A midlife crisis is more than just a cultural stereotype. It's a real psychological struggle that can surface between the ages of 40 and 60. Often triggered by aging, loss, or unmet expectations, it can actually lead individuals to question their identity, make impulsive choices, or abruptly abandon long term commitments. While not officially classified yet as a mental illness, the emotional and relational fallout is very real, especially for the spouses and families left behind. This podcast gives voice to those living through the aftermath, exposing the hidden pain, and seeking accountability, healing, and understanding. Thank you for joining us today on MLC Bomb Drop and Beyond. The stories and events discussed in this podcast are for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered legal, medical, or professional advice. Any names, locations, or identifying details have been changed to protect privacy. Any similarities to actual persons, living or dead, or real events are purely coincidental. The information presented on this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as professional advice. Always consult with a qualified expert regarding any decisions related to your specific situation. The views expressed by guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or the podcast creators. Hey, good morning and welcome to MLC Bomb Drop and Beyond Be Grateful Week. Today is for the men who were cheated on, discarded, blindsided, or financially gutted. Some of you out there rebuilt empires. Some of you rebuilt your health. Some rebuilt relationships with your children. And remember, all of it counts. You know, men are taught to swallow betrayal, to act unfazed, to pretend the affair didn't break them, to pretend losing the house, the kids, or the life they built didn't dismantle their identity. Ugh, but we all know that's not true. At the same time, some of the greatest male comebacks in history and in everyday neighborhoods started with betrayal. Okay, first up, we've got Colonel Sanders, KFC. Oh my gosh, I mean, personally, I can't imagine a world without KFC. Really? Popcorn chicken? Not having that to munch on when you're driving? Ugh. So thank God Colonel Sanders got cheated on and divorced by his wife. And thank God that happened because he rebuilt his life in his 60s after he retired. That is when he launched KFC in his mid-60s. And you know what? He also found love again. So Colonel Sanders, he married young. He worked nonstop to provide for his family. But his first wife left him for another man and told him he would never amount to anything. She even tried to take their daughter. And her family encouraged her to leave him because they all said he was going nowhere. But you know what? He kept hustling from job to job: railroad worker, insurance salesman, gas station operator. He didn't achieve major success until age 65 when he franchised Kentucky Fried Chicken. He became a global icon after retirement age. How about that, you guys? Eventually, Colonel Sanders remarried and had a stable, loving relationship all the way until his death. But just remember, betrayal does not end your story. Sometimes it starts the real one. You are not too late. The world still needs you. So, losing a woman did not break him. It set the stage for legacy. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Jeff Bezos, well, he had a first marriage long before Amazon. Apparently, when Bezos was very young, he was in a serious relationship that ended because his wife cheated on him. It deeply affected him, and he has apparently spoken about the devastation a little bit, but he funneled that pain into building something bigger and proving himself. That heartbreak happened before Amazon, but it pushed him toward ambition and independence. It shaped that firefighter level resilience that he needed to survive business failures later on. And now he's one of the world's richest men. So just remember, the world's richest man once got cheated on and dumped and still became the Jeff Bezos that we know today. So remember, betrayal is not your destiny. And Sylvester Stallone. cheated on, financially ruined, divorced, and yet he rebuilt himself into a total icon. Stallone's first wife cheated on him early in his career. He was broke, emotionally crushed, and sleeping in bus stations. No one believed in him. He wrote Rocky from that emotional place that he was in. He rejected offers of $350,000 to buy the script because they wouldn't let him star in it. But finally, he got to star in it, and he became one of the greatest underdog films in history, Rocky. He eventually remarried and became a devoted family man, and he openly speaks about becoming a better partner later in life. And I love his show, Tulsa King. If you don't watch that, it's a pretty good show on Paramount Plus. But Sylvester Stallone is just killing it in Tulsa King. So remember, betrayal became fuel, not failure. Walt Disney, the wonderful Walt Disney, his wife had an affair early in their marriage, which deeply wounded him. That's when he discovered infidelity was early on in their relationship, and it nearly ended their marriage. He shut down emotionally for a long time, and then eventually he started to pick himself up. Instead of collapsing, he threw himself into creativity, and he built an empire from nothing. He eventually repaired his marriage, had a child, and built the Disney legacy. So remember, guys, a man can be betrayed and still build worlds. And then we have Steve Harvey, cheated on, financially drained, even homeless. And today we see him all over TV. So Steve's first wife, she cheated on him. His second wife left him and practically cleaned him out financially. Steve Harvey was homeless for 3 years, living in his car. He rebuilt from scratch in his late 40s. At age 48, he met Marjorie, who he says saved his life. Now he's one of the most successful entertainers in the world. So just remember, you can be at the bottom of the bottom. We're talking cheated on, broke, abandoned, homeless, and still rise. Just think of Steve Harvey. And then finally, I'm going to talk about Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott, who is now on Landman. Just a little trivia there. Sam Elliott was betrayed and left by his long-term partner. He spent years alone, all by himself, rebuilding his self-worth. And then he found love with Catherine Ross at age 45. And they are still married 40 years later. So that's a perfect example for you guys who think you're too old now. When a man is betrayed, discarded, or replaced, he thinks the story ends there. But historically, men who were cheated on built empires, created legacies, and found real love after being broken. So I want you guys to know out there, there's a lot ahead for you in the future. You are not done. You are not worthless. You are not your ex's choices. You are not defined by betrayal. The next chapter can be the best chapter. And then we've got everyday men who rebuilt without riches. There's the second chance dad at 50 years old. He was cheated on. He lost his life savings in a divorce, almost lost his kids, but he kept showing up. He became the stable, present, emotionally safe parent. His kids now say he's their hero. And that just shows you connection matters more than cash. Then we've got a guy at 55. His wife cheated on him. They divorced. It was horrendous. He was really left with nothing and had to start over from scratch. He started a woodworking hobby in his garage, just sort of to cope and put his pain into something creative. It became a small little business, and now he builds tables and has grown his business, and he's found true peace. And they say purpose heals the masculine spirit. Personally, I think purpose heals any spirit, male or female. And then we've got this other guy. He was at 57. His marriage ended in betrayal. He ended up joining hiking groups, biking clubs, travel meetups. He started doing outdoor adventures. He found new friends, He found joy. He found himself. And another guy, 62 years old, infidelity destroyed him. He spiraled. Then he turned toward health. He ended up losing 40 pounds. He reversed his diabetes, and now he runs 5Ks with his son. He says healing your body heals your mind, and that is true. It reminds me of the book, The Body Keeps the Score. That's just another example. Your body and mind do work hand in hand. So guys, be grateful for the inner strength that you have. You have discipline, clarity, resilience, self-respect. Some of you have fatherhood. You've got health to focus on, purpose. It's truly an opportunity to be reborn. Your comeback does not need applause to be real. It just needs you. And it won't happen without you making it happen. So guys, this has been your Be Grateful Week men's episode. To every man rising after betrayal, your story is not done. It's just finally your own. And I want to remind you guys again, when a man is betrayed, discarded, or replaced, he thinks the story ends there. But historically, men who were cheated on ended up building empires, created legacies, and found real love after being broken. So remember, you are not done. You are not worthless. You are not your ex's choices. You are not defined by betrayal. And this next chapter can be the best chapter. Thanks again for joining us on MLC Bomb Drop and Beyond. I hope you all have a great weekend and a great rest of this holiday season. Hey, some resources that are available for you guys are thewifeexpert.com. That's Lori McDermott over there at thewifeexpert.com. She also has a new app out. There's tons of videos that can give you all kinds of information on no matter where you are on your MLC journey or trying to reconcile with your spouse. So check out thewifeexpert.com. And if you're not sure if your spouse or yourself is in maybe approaching or in a midlife crisis, be sure to check out Kenda Root's quiz at midlifecrisismarriageadvocate.com. Again, that's a midlifecrisismarriageadvocate.com. That's a quick little 2-minute quiz. It's free. So check that out as well. We have a ton of resources out there for you guys. So check them out. Thanks. You guys, forward moving spouses, you are not alone. Left behind spouses, you are not alone. Those in crisis, you are certainly not alone. This is just crazy how epidemic this has become. I have a waiting list now of people from around the world that I'm trying to get to. And if you've been through a midlife crisis or been impacted by someone else's and you want to share your story, I'd love to hear from you. Hang in there, you guys. I will get to all of you. Please reach out to me at mlcbombdrop@gmail.com and visit us on Facebook and Instagram, MLC Bomb Drop. And just remember, your voice matters. Your story could be the one that helps someone else feel seen. It could help someone else feel heard. And you know, it will help somebody else feel understood. You are not alone, no matter where you are in your journey. If the bomb was just dropped, the earthquake just happened, if you are 7 or 8 years in and you're coming out of starting to wake up and awaken to this, you are not alone. It's sad that this is epidemic, but we're here to provide support. So until next time, take care and live authentically each and every day. Thanks again, you guys.